All right, people. My name is Ugochukwu. Today is June 3rd, 2021. I have you see those people there? Those are two separate videos. So I have two separate videos to share with you. I'm thinking about the best way to do it. You know what I would do? I will split the videos up. So as each video I will split it up in several segments. So as I show you what they say, and then I give you my opinion, and then towards the end, and I will summarize. All right, so let's go. By the way, the guy on the left is Ayo Adebanjo. He's the Afani leader. You see the name there, and the guy in the right side is Senator Adamu Bokachua. I don't know how you say that. I never seen this guy before. The guy, look at him. He looks like he's Chinese or something. But anyway, the two videos I have are very, very interesting. These are old men. Adebanjo on the left, he's about 94. I don't know. This man over here, I don't know. I think probably in his 90s. But this is very interesting, though. The two videos shows you what is wrong with Nigeria, why Nigeria will disintegrate, right? Adebanjo basically saying the constitution that they're trying to amend is not our constitution. The people didn't make it. How can you amend? How can we amend what we did not write? Right? We cannot amend. I mean, you have to write something, then amend it. If you didn't write it, why are you amending it? That's basically his argument. Then the guy on the right, I don't know what's wrong with him. I haven't watched the entire video, but I watched a little bit of it. Basically, what he said that caught my attention. He said there is no other country in the world where they threw their constitution away. Pick up on that. There is no other country in the world where the constitution is thrown away. There is. These people, they think they're smart. These people really, really think they're smart. You know, at least I know one. You know. I may not be aware of others, you know, but at least I know one with certainty. And that country is Nigeria. The 1963 constitution was thrown away. Military threw it away, and then these motherfuckers wrote a fake constitution to favor them. They wrote constitution to favor the North and then imposed it on us. And then say, we the people wrote it. Can you believe these people, man? And the journalist interviewed him. He didn't say anything about that. There is no other country in the world where the constitution is thrown away. Yes, there is. And it's called Nigeria. What the hell is wrong with these people, man? Do they think we're stupid? We're not this stupid. I don't know what's wrong with these Fulani people, man. There is no country where the constitution is thrown away. But you're living in one. Huh? You're living in one. What happened to 1963 Constitution? Wasn't it thrown away? You know, but anyway, we're going to get into the details. You know, this is very, very interesting. I mean, it's interesting to me because I learn more about Nigeria, about the constitutional history of Nigeria, you know, as I, you know, watch these videos and listen to some of these old idiots, you know. Pa Adebanjo. Pa Adebanjo, he's not an idiot. He's a very smart man. But this one on the right, you know, the little bit I have watched, all he's doing is lying. But you will see it. As I unfold this stuff, you will see what is going on. So let's go.
The president speaking about those perpetrating violence in the country, quote, he said, those of us in the fields for 30 months who went through the war, we treat them in the language they understand. We are going to be very hard sooner than later, end of quote. Chief Adebanjo, what's your view on that?
It's a very unfortunate statement from the president of a democratic country. I was very sad when I heard it. When I was informed, I thought it couldn't be. But I am not surprised. It is those of you who voted for Buhari in 2015 that should be amazed. I warned you then that this man is a dictator. He is born a feudalist, he is trained as a dictator. And he has no rule for he has no respect for the rule of law. My dear, let us all realize the fact that the problem in this country today against unity and peace is President Buhari. He is not on the same place with those of us looking for the unity and peace of this country. Take for instance, all those who voted for him, he stated in that statement that he told the 36 states. Did he tell the 36 states to say that he's going to oppress them? Did he tell the 36 states promising them that there's going to be diversion in the rule of law, in the administration of the country? In the north, the insurgency and the insecurity is so vast. In Kaduna, in Zamfara, in Sokoto, in Katsina is no state. He has not arrested or blindfolded the emir of those places. But I just received a video about 10 minutes ago where he blindfolded a natural ruler in Ogoni, in the national regalia. Two standards of ruling in this country by the president who said he loves the country. And each time, those who love the country tell him, please, there's a solution to this problem. Do this. He pretends not to listen.
Yeah.
The one he want to listen to are the youth of the country who are tired of the deceit. That is our problem. So any language you are using, you are just deceiving yourself. And particularly you, president, don't allow him to change the narrative. He's talking of the unity he's going to teach them. Can a democratic government president be talking of teaching his subjects who voted him into power, that's going to teach them the lesson that the practice during the war? We are in peacetime. What reconciliatory statement has emerged from him? And when I say this man has a private agenda, and the agenda is to wipe out those of us who are not Fulanis, what is he doing?
So Chief
He's killing
Adebanjo,
everybody.
those are
All right. You heard what the guy said? I mean, he was asked the question about, about what. The question is to him is about, what does he think about what Buhari said? Where Buhari said that he would treat agitators like the way people were treated in the Civil War. I mean, everybody's coming out, almost all, most Nigerians are coming out condemning this. You pick up a couple of things from this segment. He says that he warned people that Buhari is a dictator, that Buhari was raised as I think a herdsman. I forgot the exact word he used, and then he was trained as a dictator, right? So he's acting out the way he was raised and the training he got. He said he warned people not to, that this guy is no good, but nobody listened to him. They voted for him. They say he's good. But pick up on what he said. There are a couple of things that man said that I really, really love. He said Buhari pretends not to listen, not to hear what people are saying. And then somewhere he says Buhari wants to wipe out everybody who is not Fulani. These are very strong. These are, of course, these are strong, but we know it's true. Actually, the guy interviewing the Ayo Adebanjo, he said, man, I think you get that in the next segment. He said, man, these are strong words. Do you have any evidence? Do you have any evidence that Buhari is trying to wipe people out? I thought that was dumb. You will see that later. I mean, what kind of nonsense? Are you living in Nigeria or not? Of course, they're trying to wipe everybody out. See what is going on in the middle belt, and what is going on in the south. It's going on everywhere. Yoruba land, south side, southeast. They're trying to wipe everybody out. And then the guy interviewing him will say somewhere, later on, you will see that, I didn't include it here. He said, man, those words are too strong. Can you use words that will unite us rather than words that will divide us? I mean, I don't know what the hell is wrong with this journalist, man. Who's dividing the country? Who's using the words that would divide us? Is it not Buhari? Is it Buhari is telling that he will kill people? He will treat people the way people were treated during the Civil War. I just read something that Askia Regina wrote, and that stuff is good. That the Buhari is opening the wounds of the Civil War. That stuff people allowed to rest. Now he's opened them up. Everybody now is gonna get agitated. Maybe that's what they want. Because he thinks he got power. He got all the military equipment under his command. All his commanders are Fulani. He probably think he's gonna say something, make people react, and he come and wipe everybody. But I don't think it's gonna work like that. They may try. This Fulani, I give them credit. They got gut. They got gut. They know what they want, and they want to achieve it. Like I've been saying all this all along, our people, I blame them. They allow these people to take all the military equipment and move into their area, and then they allow them to write this constitution to favor them, and then they impose it on us. This stuff shouldn't have been allowed. Those two things shouldn't have been allowed. You shouldn't have allowed them to take. I read that some military equipments and the division of the military were in Enugu, and they moved them to the north. Why would people allow that to happen? You see, now they control everything, the military and the power. I mean, he's in power, so he can command the soldier. But I don't think it's gonna be as easy as they think, because this time they're gonna be fighting Yoruba, Middle Belt, South, and the East. So it's not gonna be easy. The Nigerian soldiers are not as good as they think, unless, of course, they're gonna import people from outside to help them. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna bring people from Egypt, from Lebanon, from everywhere to help them. That's what's gonna happen. We're not gonna be fighting them alone. You see, war is coming, whether you like it or not. But everybody needs to be very careful. But nobody needs to fear. We need to settle this once and for all. These people have to go. Do you know that these Fulanis were originally not from Nigeria? This stuff has to be settled once and for all. After we settle it, if they want to live with the Hausas in the north, that's their business. We just want a country like Israel. We fortify ourselves, build the latest and greatest military stuff. They mess with us, we'll go and wipe them off of the face of the earth. That's the way you deal with these people. Don't sit there begging them like most of our people have been doing. You don't beg them. You deal with them. But anyway, let's go to the next segment.
Allegations, because we are on a national television, and you're talking about the president of the Federal Republic here, because some of the claims you are making, one will wonder what are the evidence to it. But let's go to the issue of the National Conference Amendment. You have repeatedly. So let me ask you, you have repeatedly said that the Nigerian Constitution is a fraud, but you disagree with the process of amending it. What do you suppose could be the best way to fix it?
Let me correct you first, instance. All the allegations I've made against the president, I have evidence, if you are prepared to listen. Yeah, I have evidence. I am old enough in this country to substantiate every allegation I make. I have been in this struggle before many of them were born, and when some of them were in school, including Buhari himself. How can you be telling me that the man is doing the same thing when I campaigned for him in 2007? All this deceit, pretending not to hear what people are saying, and then you still continue to listen to him, and you be advised by advisors who will not give him the right legal advisor. The whole of the South say they want dialogue. The people you are accusing say they want dialogue.
Yeah, well, Chief Adebanjo, the point I'm making is that the point I'm making here is the #1 citizen of the country, and we are on a national television, and the fact that you as an elder statesman in this very difficult period that we are in as a country, we need those words that will unite us, not those ones that may divide us, and that's why I was asking that we probably temper, will be careful with the use of language. But the question, I like it because I know as a lawyer, and your experience is very vast in this area, you have critically criticized this issue of constitution amendment. What is the best way, in your view, to fix it?
We cannot amend a constitution we don't make. Shehu, get this down clear. Those who of us are talking to people from it, what do we say? We say this constitution is a fraud. Let them dispute that. Let Malami say that. We say it is not our constitution. That's where you begin from. Is the constitution our own? When we say we, the people of Federal Republic, did we make the constitution? Are we federal? Did we make the constitution? False. Are we federal? False. It was imposed upon by the military. That's a fact. And I said earlier, if the man loves the country, it is when the military came that you imposed this constitution. And the people are now saying, when you are now sending us back to civilian regime, send us back to the constitution where you met us. And it is significant. You must know this, and I continue to repeat it. That is where you should address yourself. Why should President Buhari find it difficult when we say go back to the constitution of our founding fathers, the constitution made by Saldana, the constitution made by Idabdi Azikwe, the constitution made by Jafar Olowo? What is the problem there? If you say you don't understand what is restructuring, I say that is restructuring. He has not answered it. And Shehu Sani and Badeshino will not address that. They now come and tell you fake news. Address the issue. That's what I'm saying. When you say what is it, because the people are still talking.
I wanted to know.
Dialogue is the institution.
Okay, so because.
Right, see what is going on there? I told you the journalists will want him to, that we are on national television. Can you watch what you say? The journalist, he's scared. Actually, this journalist, I don't know what, journalism in Nigeria is no good. There was a time this particular guy interviewed a member of IPOB, and then his, this channel's television was, what's his name? Buhari pounded on them, levied a heavy fine on them just to shut them up. Remember, I talked about that in the past. They're supposed to have freedom of the press, but it's not true. It doesn't work. It's on paper, but Buhari is a dictator. So he fined them. So I think the journalists, they watch what they say. You see how he's telling the man, watch what you say, don't use words that will divide us. Like I said before, Buhari is the one that dividing us. But I like what Adebanjo said. He said everything I say, I have evidence. I have evidence to support everything I said. And then the guy insists that, what can we amend the constitution we'll have? That's the journalist asking the question. And then Adebanjo, man, I love this man. He said, well, how can we amend that constitution? We didn't make it. You cannot amend the constitution you did not make. That was imposed on you. It's not our constitution, right? That constitution was written by the military and imposed on us. And then he says, we the people. We the people didn't write it. It was Abdul Salami who wrote the constitution and imposed it on the rest of the Nigeria, right? And then he said restructuring. Restructuring means go back to the 1963 constitution, which is correct. Some Southerners, sometimes they get on my nerve. When you talk to them about this topic of restructuring comes up, they will repeat what the Fulanis are saying. The Fulanis always say, well, everybody got definition of restructuring. Nobody knows what it means. But that's a lie. Restructuring means let's go back to 1963 constitution. That was a Republican constitution written by everybody. By Azikiwe, like he said, Azikiwe was involved. Awolowo was involved. Tafa Balewa, whoever it is in the north was involved. Everybody was involved. Everybody agreed on that constitution. We'll go back to it. That's what is called restructuring. And by the way, when that constitution was in effect, Nigeria was working very well. Nigeria had no problem. You understand? So these Fulanis, like I said, they're very sneaky. They imposed this constitution knowing that it will favor them. Of course, they wrote it to favor them. So they know what they were doing when they started doing this. They had an agenda. I think Buhari wants to finish up the agenda. They kill everybody, take up their land, and then say Nigeria is their homeland. That's what is going on. And then somewhere Adebanjo said, if you believe that 1963 constitution is wrong, it's not a good constitution, let's make our own constitution then. Let's get together and make a new one. But you see, they wouldn't do it. I can tell you, they're not going to go back to 1963 constitution. They're not going to go back. They're not going to make a new one. You will get this clearly when we get to this, the man you're looking at there called Senator Adamo Bokachabua. When we get to him, you will see exactly his argument that they don't intend to go back. They don't intend to make a new constitution. It's just a waste of time. They wouldn't do it. So we're begging them, we're just wasting our time. But anyway, let's continue with the next segment.
I wanted to ask you, because when you're saying in 2023 we need to go into that with a brand new constitution, if there is going to be a national dialogue, which you said the president should convene, what time of the year or what month of the year would you suggest that? Because the way and manner you discussed had that conversation in Abuja, it does look like something that is urgent. What month of the year would you suggest?
Yes, it is very urgent in view of the stability in the country. We must have a country first before we have an election. That's why I said this question of going to the National Assembly is just begging the issue. It's just to keep us talking and talking and saying, oh, it's too late now to do the thing. Let's go to this is the very thing Afenifere and Nadeko did, and we told Abubakar is still alive. We insisted then that we must have a sovereign national conference before we go to 1999 constitution. He said, alive, come and check it. And when we refused to contest the election, it was he who convinced our leader, Paradesoya, with your blessed memory, that when you have your civilian government, you can do it. That's where we are now. And we have gone, and he has been in office. Shehu, can you press, can you press the fact, Mr. President, to the manifesto of the APC in 2015 that they are going to restructure? Can't you remind him that El Rufai in 2018 said they are going to restructure? If there is sincerity about keeping the country together in peace.
All right. Chief Adebanjo,
those are the issues you attend. All the bike questions.
We're due for our commercial break, but I must sincerely thank you, elder statesman and leader of Afenifere. Thank you so much, Chief Ayo Adebanjo.
All right, you see what is going on there. The journalist is still insisting and asking crazy questions. There's no time, the 2023 election is coming close. There is no time to make. Basically, he's saying there's no time to make a new constitution. And then Adebanjo said that we'll have time. We'll have time. And then Adebanjo got mad with him at a point and said, why do you journalists keep changing the narrative, following what Buhari is doing? Buhari want to change the narrative. They want to bypass the question. The primary question is we cannot amend the constitution we did not make. Everybody needs to get that clear. When you hear somebody talking about let's amend the constitution, but we can't. We didn't make it. It's a fraud. How can you amend a fraud? You amend the fraud and it's still a fraud. So that's the primary stuff you get from this segment. You can't amend something you did not make. You can't amend fraud and turn it into a valid, a legitimate document. It's not going to happen. You see? And then you notice they're always trying to change the narrative. The Fulanis always, instead of answering the question or dealing with the issue, they'll try to change it to something else. That's what is going on in that segment. And then he said, if there is a, when Adebanjo answered the question about there is no time, by saying that if there is a will to do the right thing, we will have plenty of time to do it. And that's correct. Listen, Nigeria, everything is scattering. If Buhari, the Fulanis are really serious, they want to save Nigeria, but I don't think they want to save it. But if they're serious, they want to save Nigeria. If Buhari, that have been in government many years, really loves Nigeria, there's enough time for him to organize everybody, bring out the what do you call that, Supreme National Conference done by Jonathan. Remember, he said he put it in archive. Bring it out, and then based on that, we use it to make a new constitution, if they want to make a new constitution. But I think the best thing is to just go back to the 1963 constitution with a little modification, a little changes here and there, and then boom, that thing will become it will become the new, it will become the constitution that the government is running on. Because they used to use it before. And when they used it, the country was okay. So Adebanjo keep emphasizing this. He keeps saying they want to force their constitution on us. We say no. They want to force their constitution down our throat. We say no. We don't want it. It doesn't work. It favors them. That's why we don't want it. So, I really love this man. You see the way this man talks, man. He understands what is going on. Afani Fere, man, they're really, really doing a good job. Contrast Afani Fere with Ohaneze Ndigbo. When you listen to somebody from Ohaneze Ndigbo talking, all they're doing, you pay attention, they're begging. They're just begging. They're not making any demand, serious demand. And the best serious demand you can make is, let's go back to the 1963 Constitution. Because that Constitution is the problem. The 1999 Constitution is the problem of Nigeria. Fulanis wrote it to favor the North. And they've been using it to abuse everybody. As long as that Constitution is there, Nigeria is not going anywhere. If you don't know why, you better start paying attention. Ask questions, talk to people that know why. Let me tell you a little bit I know. That Constitution has, I think, 68 items in what they call exclusive list. Okay, every country has an exclusive list in their Constitution. I'll give you an example. United States government has exclusive, the Constitution has an exclusive list. One of them is the currency of the United States. The federal government of America has the exclusive right to make the currency, to design the currency, make it. If they want to change it, they change it. The state cannot go creating currency. If every state start doing that, there will be a lot of confusion. So that's a very good example. But in terms of generating electricity is not in the exclusive list in the American Constitution. States have the right to do whatever they want to do with electricity. Each state generates their own electricity, right? Another thing that I remember that is in the exclusive list is the military. The federal government of America have the exclusive right to, put the military together. That way they can defend the country. But if you go to, in the United States, the exclusive list is very small, maybe 3 or 4 items. But in Nigeria, it has about 68 items there, including generating electricity, including certain federal roads. Only federal government can fix those roads. That's why you see most of the roads in the East are bad, because they refuse to fix it. They're playing game with it. Even Jonathan playing game. Obasanjo playing game. Obviously, what's his name? Babangida playing game too. Buhari playing game. They will never fix it. That's why people say, get out of our region, we'll take care of ourselves. That way, we generate our electricity, we can fix our road. And you know what is really funny? Those things in exclusive, the state cannot touch it. Nobody can touch it. Like fixing federal road, you cannot touch it. If you try to do it, they take you and put you in jail. If you try to generate electricity in Imo State, they will take it and spread it around the country. That's why Nigeria is going backwards. I mean, these Fulanis, they know they cannot do anything. They're stupid. That's why they're holding us back. And that what they're using to hold us back is that constitution they imposed on us. So let's go to I think I talked about everything here. Let's go continue with the next segment.
Because I mean, you're tending towards an overhaul of the Constitution. But does the present grand norm envisage such a scenario, or how exactly, in the view of the legal framework we currently operate, can we maneuver to a process of overhauling the present Constitution?
That is where you all make a mistake. Don't allow the president to change the narrative. What is the grand norm? We say we don't know the grand norm. The grand norm is false, not our own. The grand norm you can only bind us to is the 1963 Constitution. Can you deny the fact that it was the military that imposed it? Absalom confirms it. That is the issue. Don't divert it. Whenever you direct us to this Constitution and to the National Assembly, which is a problem by itself, which is a beneficiary of this false Constitution. This assembly is created by this false Constitution, which you say we don't know. Are you now forcing it on us? Those are the issues you address to. Don't go along to say the president want to do this. The question is clear, except to somebody who doesn't want to act. We said this Constitution is not our own. Let him deny that. Let Malami come and tell us it's our own. Where did we make it? Let Malami tell us this is a federal constitution under where you are going. Those are the issues. Until you address yourself to the issues and not allow yourself to be diverted by the answer of the government, then we know where we are going. So each time you tell us the government want to do this, the grand norm, which grand norm?
It does look like you want
the
Republican.
That is what all the people in this country are saying. That is why we are asking for a dialogue. If you don't want this 1963 Constitution, let us sit down. You now want to amend the Constitution you impose on us. In the Constitution we don't know anything about. So that is what you journalists explain to people. You are the fourth estate of the realm. That is the issue. All other things you are talking about doesn't come in. The issue we are standing for, and those who are advocating back to federalism, is the fact the Constitution negates what we agreed to at independence. The answer should have been no, you are wrong. That's what you agreed to. And now we give you a leeway. If you believe that Constitution is not right, let us sit down and make your own. If you believe there's something wrong in this Constitution, Saldana make, our law make, bring it out and pinpoint what breaks the Constitution.
Okay, so let me quickly throw this in.
All right. I don't know if you noticed the guy, the journalist is, he's asking the same question but with a different words. He's talking about grand norm. What is the grand norm here? I don't blame Pa Adebanjo for getting mad. The grand norm here, we're talking about the Constitution and you're trying to change it to something else. Yeah, he just explained to you that the 1963 Constitution is what we need to go back to. Because the 1999 Constitution, we didn't make it. It's not our Constitution, right? You cannot... the journalist kept thinking that this man will accept amending it. You cannot amend it. Like I said before, it's a fraud. If you amend a fraud, it's still a fraud, right? And then he said the National Assembly, the members of the National Assembly are the beneficiaries of the fraud, the fraudulent Constitution, right? They are the beneficiary of it. So you can't use them to amend it. Using them to amend it, of course, they will play games. And that's what they do. They buy time. They're trying to buy time. That way the election comes and then they select somebody else. They probably select Tinubu to be the president of Nigeria again. And then the whole thing will continue. And the people start suffering again. So that constitution needs to be changed. All this nonsense they're talking about grand norm. Grand this, grand that. Grand norm is, if you talk about grand norm in the context of Nigeria, in the context of a nation, running a nation, grand norm just means the ground rule, the biggest rule, right? Grand means big, norm means rule. The biggest rule required to run the show. That's the constitution. And the 1999 constitution is not good. That's why Nigeria is having all this problem. That's why Pa Adebanjo said, let's go back to 1963 Constitution, which is our constitution. And then he said, if they think that that we wrote 1999 Constitution, let them come tell us when we wrote it. We didn't write it. The people didn't write it, right? Let them come and prove that we wrote it. But they wouldn't do that because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So I really like Pa Adeboye, man. He really understands what is going on. I'm sure there are a lot of people in this. I know Tony Nado understand what is going on, but I'm talking about in terms of the leaders, the so-called leaders, the governors, and the members of the House and Senate from our area. Do they really understand the issues the way this man understands it? This Pa Adebanjo understands it? I don't think so. Maybe they know, but they don't care because they're benefiting from it. Just like this man said, the beneficiaries of the fraud is the members of National Assembly and also the governors. They are all the beneficiaries of this nonsense. So they don't really want to change it. They rather have it going the way it's going, you see. So, but anyway, let's look at the last segment.
Let me quickly throw this in. You're one of those who have had conversations with people who have similar opinion to this issue of 1963 Constitution, the Republican Constitution. So, in this sense, I'm just practically thinking now because, and I'm wondering what is on the minds of those who are in the political leadership of this country, how they hope to maneuver from here. So, how do we change and move and transit into another constitution entirely? Do we sit down at another national conference? Because if I remember vividly, there was a 2014 confab. Are you thinking about another conference?
That is the position. My dear, don't let us bypass the question. Everybody has been talking about 2014. And when Jonathan was going to hand over to him, he said, this is the most important document. And Mr. President said he's putting in the archives. And then I asked him at that time, what is wrong with it? Tell us, we take it out. What do you want if we put in it? If that is not so, set up your own constitution for us to agree. You are now forcing us to amend the constitution. We say it is not our own. That is the question you should answer. That is what you address yourself to. It's not giving us, except you're going to say, except you accept my constitution, there's no way. We say this constitution you are asking us to amend is not our own. Let us sit down together and agree. What is wrong with that?
So let's look at it.
Government you appoint, your members of the party.
So you and your colleagues in the Ethnic National Conference that you had, you said we need to go into 2023 election with a brand new constitution. We just have about a year and a half to that election.
Exactly.
What kind of schedule or timeline can we be thinking if, for example, the president decides to take on that exercise of
in the proposal we made, we planned it out. We can do it before.
Please go ahead, sir.
If there is the will to do the right thing, there's plenty of time. And we set it out. Let the regions, as you said in our paper, meet and let us coordinate all their points. As which we all will agree with. The point you and others are missing, particularly as wrong, you don't see the point that they want to force their constitution on us. And we say no. But we don't want to force our own on you. We say let us meet and talk. You are not addressing that. Why is the government and Ansoro refuse to do that?
Who is going to convene that talking, that meeting? Who is going to convene it?
Together, not to force us.
Who is going to convene that meeting? The dialogue you're talking about.
There. If there is the man there, who convened the constitution? Who convened the constitution they imposed on us? Was it not the ministry that just did by decree? Don't let us pretend who will do. If it's serious and sincere, all these members of the party say, let us have a dialogue. Can any democratic person refuse to have dialogue? Even when you are at war, You went at the table and let us talk. The man can negotiate with criminals. He cannot negotiate with those who they want self-government. Those who say you are oppressing us. There is room. The Gumi could see the bandits in the race, negotiate with them, get money, extort money from us. But your army can't go there. But you claim to be a propaganda, a good commander, who will just oppress those who are defenseless. What are we doing? Just unfortunate. Let us all address the truth. And I'm appealing to fellow Fulanis. But Buhari is following on his own. He's not carrying on the Fulanis. He's only blackmailing them. And let them be united and tell them, we are not opposed to them. And Shehu.
All right. So let me.
When the people say, let the Fulani. No, so this is an important part. Don't let us rush out. Because the country is being misled. He went to Autumn. Autumn went to him that these are the people who are molesting me. I know them, they wrote me a letter. It's on record. He went to him, come and save me. He said, go and make friends with your people. Those are killing him. And all your governors, half of the country now is saying, let us have dialogue. If you people are sincere about advising him, why doesn't he listen to that? He's listening to those who say, no, you are deceiving us. All these people and all that he's talking about, they are tired of this lying. They are accusing us. But for the respect they have for me, they would have shot me. They said the restructuring is too late because this man is not doing the right thing. And we are asking them, you wait. If you do restructuring, we shall be together in peace. What more can we do? We have played the thing on the table. Everybody, we have united. We have agreed. If he's sincere about it, why has he not tried our own method? We have told him, look, if you do this thing, all this tension will come down. He's only doing those whom he can harass. And any same voice, he will blackmail.
Chief Adebanjo, let me go.
All right, this is the last segment is here. I think if you really listen carefully, they're repeating the same thing. The journalist, if you look at his face, he's bewildered, because he's asking the same question but with different words. You see what he's asking now? Okay, is there any space? How do we transit from the current constitution to the new constitution, the 1963 constitution, if we want to use that? So Adebanjo, telling him again, if we have the will, if we agree, if there's a strong will there to do this stuff, I mean, he can take we'll have time. That's what he said. He can take less than a month to get all that stuff done. He don't need 6 months, because the 1963 constitution is already there. We don't, we can add stuff to it, make a little changes here and there, but we use the constitution. It shouldn't take more than a month, But see, the problem they're gonna have if they try to do that, the Fulanese will probably say no. They want to go back to this fake 1999 constitution. They want to go back there and get all the stuff that favor them and put in the 1963 constitution. Though that's why they say no. That's what they're gonna try to do if we try to revert the transition from this fake constitution to back to 1963 constitution. But you see where he said, Adebanjo said, all the constituent nations in the country said, let us have a dialogue, right? Let us have a dialogue because we will say no to this 1999 constitution that we didn't write. So let's sit down and have a dialogue. But Buhari and his people are saying no. But part of the reason why they're saying no, you will get that later when we look at the video from Senator Adamu Bakachua. Part of the reason why they're saying no, he will say it. The Fulani man you're looking at there will say, well, how come he didn't say anything during Obasanjo's time? How come he didn't do anything during Yar'Adua? How come he didn't do anything during Jonathan? Why are you doing something now? You want to do something about the 1999 constitution now? Of course, that's not partial. That's partially correct because Jonathan called Supreme National Conference And the result they produce, from what I hear, the document they produce is a very good document. So I think the Fulani, they just don't want to give up all the stuff they're stealing from the south. All the natural resources, well, all the oil they're depending on. And then somewhere, Pa Adebanjo said, you must have a country before you conduct an election, because this guy keep pushing him. Oh, election is coming. What of election 2023? And then he said, Adebanjo said, that is, if we go to the manifesto of APC in 2015, they have a restructuring there. It's outlined there. And then he said, Rufai in 2018 said that they will restructure Nigeria. So they say all this stuff, but when they get into power, they start singing a different song. That's the problem we have in Nigeria. Our politicians, they just run around like a bunch of little tyrants. They don't want to do the work of the people. They just go in there to share money. Because they just sharing money, they don't have to do anything. You asking them to do something, basically you telling them to not to share money. But anyway, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the next video. I think I would upload this one, and then we'll continue with the other one. But anyway, let's go.